What's cooking, guys, and welcome to my channel. In today's video I'm making this date and walnut loaf cake with my classic cream cheese frosting. I'm doing a collab today with Medjool Days dates brand. I'm going to be talking more about them in the video, so stay tuned for the recipe for the date and walnut cake. Also, do consider subscribing if you're new here and you'd like to see what's cooking with me, and also hit the bell icon so you're notified every time I upload a new video. And now let's get baking. So I'm going to start off by talking about these 100% organically grown dates that I received from Medjool Days. These dates are never rehydrated, as a lot of companies that sell dates tend to rehydrate the dates to make them softer, and they go through a whole hydration process. These, on the other hand, are naturally soft. These dates are great to break your Ramadan fast with, as they have so many nutrients your body needs after a long day of fasting. They help to regulate your blood sugar levels, and they also make a great alternative to processed sugars. And these dates will be the main sugar component of today's dessert. You can find their website down below in the description box, and also they were kind enough to give me a discount code, which I will put on the screen, and you can get a 10% discount on your next order with my code. So before Ramadan is over, or if you just love fresh dates, check this organic date company out. They ship across the US, so it's very convenient to order from them. And now let's get into the recipe for the date and walnut cake. As always, I will preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And then prepare a loaf cake or a baking pan that you want to use. I'm using olive oil spray here. You can also use parchment paper here, but I didn't have any. And then you can set this aside for now. I'll be using 2 cups of dates here, which is about 12 to 15 dates approximately, and I will be removing the seed from them. If you have dates that have already been pitted, then you don't need to do this step, of course. Since these dates are not processed, they still have the seed in them, which has to be removed. And then I will be chopping the dates into smaller pieces. They don't have to be too small, but they are the main sugar or sweetener component in this recipe, so the smaller the pieces, the better. And you don't want big chunks of dates in the cake anyway. Then I'm going to transfer the chopped dates into a glass measuring cup, or you can use a bowl. And I have 2 cups here, as I said, and this amount will be different depending on how big of a batch of this cake you are making. And then I'm just going to pour about half a cup of hot water over these, which will help the date pieces to break down and also their natural sugars. I know this does not look appealing, but we're making our own sugar paste in a way, so this step is quite necessary. After you're done mixing this up and combining both the dates and hot water together, you can set this aside for now, and let's make the batter. So let's start with the dry ingredients first. I have a medium bowl here, to which I am adding 1 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour. Then I have 3 tablespoons of sugar, not too much since the dates paste I made will be the main sweetener. And then I have 1 teaspoon of baking powder and also 1 teaspoon of baking soda, equal amounts of both. And then I have some salt to offset the sweetness in the cake, and I'm just adding a little pinch of it. Then with a fork, you want to combine the dry ingredients really well, and then you can set this aside for now, and let's move on to the wet ingredients. In a large bowl here, I have about 1/3 cup of room temperature unsalted butter, which I'm going to start to cream with my hand mixer on the whisk attachment for like about 30 seconds. And then I have 1 egg here at room temperature too, which I will add in there. All your wet ingredients should always be at room temperature. They just mix better that way. And then I have vanilla extract. I'm adding 1 teaspoon of it. I also have half a cup of milk at room temperature, and I'm using oat milk, but you can use any kind of your choice. Then I'm just going to combine those ingredients with my hand mixer. And the butter will be kind of lumpy, but that's okay. It will blend in with everything else in a few. And then I'm going to add the dates and the hot water paste I made earlier, all 2 cups of it, and then combine that with the other wet ingredients to incorporate them all together. And then the dry ingredients mix is going in, and I'm adding all of it in there now. Typically I add them in increments, but we have enough moisture in the wet batter that it will all mix well anyway. And then one last time with the hand mixer, you want to beat this up till it's all combined really well. And then I have 3/4 cups of chopped walnuts here. I'm going to add them all in there, and this time with a spatula, you want to fold those into the batter. And once this is all mixed together, our batter is now done. And now in the prepared loaf pan or any baking pan that you use, you want to add all the batter in there, and it may not look like a lot of batter as you see, but it's the perfect size for a typical loaf cake pan. But you can also make muffins out of this batter, which will be easier and quicker to bake. And then with a spatula, you want to level out the top to make it even. And now let's bake this in the oven for an hour at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And while the cake is baking, let's make the cream cheese frosting. I'm using around 4 ounces of room temperature cream cheese here in a medium bowl. And to this, I'm adding 3 tablespoons of room temperature unsalted butter. I'm going to beat these up together for like a minute to cream them and combine them together. And after they are combined, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract to this. And also about 3 tablespoons of confectioner's sugar. I'm not making this too sweet. And then I'm just going to combine this all together and just make sure that as I mix it, it becomes creamier and turns a lighter color. And once it looks smooth, your cream cheese frosting is all done. Of course, you can adjust the ingredient amounts to make more or less of this frosting. And now let's check on the cake that's been baking. After an hour, this cake has a nice golden brown color, and I'll insert a toothpick to check if it's done. And since it came out clean, this cake is now done. I'm going to take it out of the oven and put it on a cooling rack to cool it down before taking it out of the loaf pan. And now that the date walnut cake has fully cooled down, I'm going to frost the cake with the cream cheese frosting I made. With a flat frosting spatula or even a knife, you want to add as much frosting you need and then smooth it out on the top evenly. You can decorate this however you need to. You can add some chopped dates on the top as well to hint at the flavors of this cake, but I will just top the frosting with some more chopped walnuts to add texture to the cake. And here is my very easy date and walnut cake using Medjool Days organic dates. This cake is also great as a dessert for Ramadan because it has good nutrients from the dates, but also a nice simple dessert to serve after you break your fast. So that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed my little collab with Medjool Dates and also this date and walnut cake recipe, which was super easy to make. This is a great cake to make for Ramadan, and you can even break your fast with this because it has really good nutrients from the dates that we added. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed today's video. I'll be seeing you in the next one, guys. Until then, take care of yourselves.